If you're in the market for a 3-row people mover, you really only have 2 types of vehicles to choose from, a minivan or a full-size SUV, like the one behind me. This is the 2024 Ford Expedition King Ranch. Today we're going to go over the exterior, the interior, and sit in all 3 rows. Then we're going to go for a drive and find out if this vehicle is worth the whopping 108,000 Canadian dollar price tag. Let's get started. Up front, LED headlights and LED fog lights come standard. The chrome grille is included with the King Ranch package along with these bronze accent. In my opinion, these bronze accent don't really go well with most of the color option that this vehicle comes with. However, with this wild green color, the whole silhouette is very earthy and kind of just like Mother Nature, which I don't mind. Down below, you get some tow hooks because this vehicle is equipped with the heavy-duty trailer package. Off to the side, these 22-inch chrome rims really shouts American luxury. Paired with these power running boards, you know you're paying a pretty penny for these kind of features. Now up here, these are power folding mirrors, and what I like about this system is that even if you fold the mirrors, your 360 camera still works. Over here in the trunk area, there's a neat little feature where you can open up just the glass portion of the trunk. So if you're in a tight parking spot, you can still bring things in and out. Down here is where you will find your trailer hitch. Because this vehicle is equipped with the heavy-duty trailer towing package, you can tow up to 9,200 pounds. In here, there is a cool little under storage compartment with a cool little mechanism that allows you to fold this out from both sides, and then off to the side a nice button just to click to bring down the 3rd row seats. Now before we jump into the interior, of course we're going to have to talk about what's powering this absolute behemoth of a vehicle. Under the hood is a 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 EcoBoost engine. Power ranges from 380 horsepower in the XLT trim to 440 horsepower in the Stealth trim. This is the mid-tune, so it puts out 400 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque. Power is routed through a 10-speed automatic transmission and then to a 4x4 transfer case. This specific unit is also optioned with the electronic limited slip differential. Now, upon arrival to the interior of this King Ranch, you're greeted with a lot of King Ranch logo as well as these beautiful brown leather seats. Aside from that, you get huge amounts of space and a very nice big panoramic sunroof. As you can see, I have no problem in terms of headroom, but taller people will have problem as this is not a great amount of headroom for a vehicle this size. However, legroom on the other hand is massive. I don't have any complaints of that. I don't think anybody will. I have crazy amount of legroom. The seats, of course, you can pull them forwards and backwards to give more space to the 3rd row if you like. You can also recline this. But the recline is a bit on the awkward side because the spring, it doesn't really spring all that well, so something to note there. Aside from that, these 2nd row seats are heated, so you'll be set in the winter. To jump into the 3rd row, it's actually really easy. All you gotta do is pull this little latch. The whole seat jumps up and you can jump right in. All right, a little bit of change of angle here. I'm in the 3rd row seats now, and I just pulled back the 2nd row seats. These 2nd row seats are pulled all the way to the furthest back setting that they can, but still I have a good amount of leg room. If I'm sitting all the way to the back, I still get a good 3 inches of leg room here, which is fantastic for the 3rd row. Headroom, however, is a little bit tight. I still get an inch or so in this big hump that they had designed into the roof of this 3rd row. However, I think the hump is a little bit too far forward. If I lean my head back onto the headrest, the back of my head hit the roof, which is not great. if their hump can be just a little bit towards the back. I understand the trunk and whatnot. Still, if it was a little bit further back, it'd be great. This seatbelt contraption is also in the way, so if I'm sitting up, I hit my head when the vehicle is taking a turn. Now, I can recline my seats even more, but that means I will hit this roof even more, so I have to lean back a little bit. But if I do lean back a little bit, it's pretty comfortable. Overall, I would still say that this is a great third row experience. The B&O sound system sounds great in the third row. I've got a big subwoofer down here, which sounds fantastic. One big caveat, however, is if you have the third row seats folded down, the only way you can fold it back up, because it's motorized, is in the trunk, is using the buttons in the trunk, which is not always accessible if you're in a tight parking spot. Something to note there. The most eye-catching part about the front interior space is, of course, this 15.5-inch vertical infotainment screen. Now, the screen itself looks really cool. However, the overall experience is not so great. Firstly, the processor is slow, so the entire user experience is laggy. Secondly, it just feels like the operating system is not well optimized for such a large screen, and it doesn't really bring additional functionalities over the smaller Sync 4 screens. The big screen also replaces most of the physical buttons, like the climate control buttons, the heated seats button, the heated steering wheel buttons, and so on and so forth, which I don't love. Although this Sync 4 system does come with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto, along with a pretty neat feature where you can play some games while you're parked. Aside from my little rant on the infotainment screen, the rest of the interior is actually really good. The 12-inch cluster is functional, so no complaints there. The brown leather trim, the brown leather surfaces is really high quality, along with the King Ranch badging, which I think integrates to the interior very nicely. Now, the center console is really wide. You've got cup holders, wireless charger, drive mode select, so on and so forth. And of course, you also have Ford's signature rotary shift knob. Don't love that, but it's actually better than the one we've tried in the Escape, because at least this one doesn't scroll infinitely. I think it's time for us to get on the road and go for a drive. Now that we're on the road, why don't we start off by seeing what 400 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque does. Whoa! Wow. I'm actually quite impressed. I mean, this vehicle is no slouch. I think it did a really good job bringing me up to speed. The transmission is not the fastest thing ever, but it's smooth and you've got plenty of torque. A tiny bit of turbo lag down low, but other than that, I think this powertrain is a win. In terms of the ride quality and handling, it's not bad for a vehicle this size. And at the end of the day, this is a body-on-frame vehicle, so you're not going to expect the most comfortable suspension setup ever. With that said, this vehicle is equipped with the Road Preview adaptive dampers, so it does help a little bit in terms of ride quality. In terms of steering, the steering is light and the steering ratio is really slow. This vehicle is optioned with the electronic limited slip differential, but it's not very noticeable in the dry roads or in dry conditions, but I do think that it is beneficial in low traction conditions. Let's talk about efficiency. Although this is a downsized V6 engine, unlike the traditional American V8s, the efficiency is still not great. I'm averaging about 16 to 17 liters per 100 kilometers driving around in the city, and on the highway I'm getting right around the 11-liter mark. As a big family hauler, safety of course is a primary concern, and this vehicle has it all. All of the active safety that Ford offers, pretty much we have it all in this trim. Emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, 360 camera of course. is all here. And then on top of that, you also get adaptive cruise control as well as lane centering. Blue Cruise is available in the Platinum trim. To wrap things up, I think this Ford Expedition King Ranch is a great vehicle, but only tailored to specific niche of families. Perhaps a veteran, because this, for sure, the green color screams military. If you need to tow a trailer, drive on the dirt road, carry all 5 of your children to get to your cottage, this is the perfect car. However, at 108,000 Canadian dollars, I think I would have to sacrifice the coolness of driving this big SUV for a minivan, so it's a little bit more affordable. Comment down below and let me know what you think about a full-size SUV like this, whether if you would prefer a full-size SUV like the Expedition or other domestic offerings, or would you just get a minivan because it's just the more economical option. That's about it for us today at Test Drive. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.